Number 17 has been one of my favorites. Very excited. I was just waiting for this performance. I loved her styling. I think that she has grown so much. She really stuck out to me last year, but I felt like she just had more room to grow, and I've been seeing that from her, and it makes me so happy. The one thing I would be careful for though, and this I feel is a good note for any contestant, is opening the mouth too much. Yes, we want to change our facial expressions, but you have to be careful that you don't go on stage and do that too much, or really any facial expression over and over again during your performance. You just want to make sure that you mix up those facial expressions, but you don't have to change them too much.
Graciela is another woman that has the attitude and seems totally comfortable in front of a camera. Can I just look? I'm not even gonna say it for just this contestant. Filipinas in general, can you do me a favor? Just do me just this small favor, okay? Disown the chin chuck. Please, please. For my sanity, please disavow the chin chuck. I don't understand why people love the chin chuck. Why are we still doing the chin chuck? There are people just throwing their chins directly into my eyeballs, okay? You are poking me in my eye with your chins, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why. It's so unnecessary. Why is the chin chuck still a thing? I'm just asking. As a pageant fan that loves you, please get rid of the chin chuck. It's ruining some of the performances, because I'll see a woman that is doing so well, and she's smiling and she's gorgeous, and she just... Don't do that, okay? Don't follow in the footsteps of the USA girls, because they've been doing that for so long, and I would appreciate that, like, the United States is not always the best example for everything, okay? And pageants is definitely one of those things. So Graciela, she did do it a couple times with a chin chuck, but her overall performance is really, really good. And the confidence that comes from a lot of the top competitors is really what sets them over the edge, because I'll watch other women and I can tell that they're nervous. They're not changing their face. They're not comfortable. Graciela is very comfortable. Once again, she's one of those women that could benefit from a bit more poise during her performance and maybe a bit more of unique posing and movements to set herself apart. But as a competitor, she's doing really well.
Graciela is just fun to watch. Here earlier, she was able to combine her sweetness and her fierce personality in her pasarela earlier. She was just so confident with her walk and poses, just wow. And the swimsuit design really complemented her fit body as well. It's just insane, and even the curls that she had for her hairstyling worked for her, as it really gave her a sexier look. So overall, she really gave a memorable performance. That's why she placed so high in my list.
Love her. Oh my gosh, I think that she is one of the most facially beautiful contestants this year. My one critique for this is to just stop touching your hair. That's a lesson for everyone though, ladies. You know, you can move it if it's directly in front of your face, but there's a point where when you keep touching it, it's gonna be distracting.
You know what, Pat was just so youthful and sweet during her presentation earlier. It was just so refreshing. Although I could see that she was very magalaw and playful with her hand movements, you could see that she was just having fun given her captivating smile. If Pat Babista is aiming for the Miss International crown, then I am finally seeing her for this title. She was just so effortless here.
Kimberly. I like Kimberly. She is confident. She is sexy. She is not nervous. Like, she seems to really enjoy basking in the glow of attention and the spotlight. And I love to see it. By all means, sis, have the stage. Kimberly seemed to thoroughly enjoy herself up there. Like, I just love when women exude the attitude when it comes to being on stage, because you're on stage and the attention is on you. So when you enjoy it and bask in the glow and you flaunt and flex a little bit in front of us, we love that. Like, and Kimberly was giving all of that. She's gorgeous. But she was seriously, she was giving Samantha. She really was. She was trying to plead her case to take Samantha's spot. And I can say she's making a pretty good case in my book. The only thing that I could really say Kimberly could do better with is the same thing with a lot of women in the competition. Work on the smoothness of the transitions, because there's moments where she'll fling an arm or something, or when she's turning to get into her next pose, that should be timed correctly. Your entire performance should almost feel like a bit of a dance. Everything should flow. Everything should sync very well and mesh together. There should never be points in a performance where a woman has to stop and then like shuffle about and reorganize herself and then get back into a pretty clean pose. Your entire performance should be beautiful. I should be able to hit the pause button on any section of your performance and it should be a beautiful shot. No matter what angle I see you in, whatever angle I watch your performance, anytime I hit the pause button should be gorgeous. If there's spots where your performance is not beautiful, those are the spots to work on. And typically it's gonna be transitions. The moments in time where you drop a pose and you move, or you're getting off of a stage, those should still be very graceful moments and movements. But Kimberly has the attitude, like she has the confidence, she has the beauty, that girl is fun to watch. She's fun to watch, she's fun to look at, she's a contender. Moving on.
I really liked this walk overall. This one stood out to me. I thought it was fun. I thought she had really great energy. The one thing I would change though is to not blow a kiss at the camera. I will take into consideration though that this was a swimsuit presentation and not the competition, but I hope that she doesn't do that during the actual competition.
Kimberly Tikas from Bulacan. My gosh, where did this girl come from? This girl has been delivering since the national costume competition. I just love how the swimsuit complemented her skin tone and her level of energy. You can see that she is really having so much fun during the show. There are moments though she would remind me of Diane Nesha, a former Binibining Pilipinas title holder, because of her beauty and aura. If there is one thing I would have to nitpick about her, it's that she had a wobbly start with her footwork and overdid her twirls in the middle. But maybe it was just probably out of excitement. But overall, her fun attitude and pasarela will be remembered for this one.
Number 19, oh my gosh, I've seen images of her, but I haven't seen that many clips of her, and she is just as beautiful on video as she is in still images. Wow, she's like photoshopped. She is so stunning, and honestly, I was so captivated by her face that it was hard for me to even watch the walk. I was like, you are just so beautiful.
Wow, Gabby Basiano just keeps wowing me every time she does her walk on stage. You can really see that she's really hungry and determined to win a crown with that strong performance and projection all throughout her presentation. Her pasarela was really clean, and it really, na-appreciate ko talaga, she really looks statuesque. However, I noticed that she was very fierce with her projections all throughout, as I can't help but wonder if this performance is really subliminally telling us that she wants to win the MGI crown right now. Because if you will notice, her makeup was dark and heavy. So I don't know, is she really leaning more on winning Miss Grand International now than Miss International? What do you think?
Honey Grace Cartesano, call me a happy little bumblebee. That is my honey right there. I am buzzing all around the honey right now. Honey's performance was immaculate. Immaculate. There wasn't a point during her performance where I was like, that could have been better. Like, everything that she brought during this competition was on point. She took her time. She seemed happy. Honey, you slayed those stairs, girl. She slayed the stairs unlike nobody's business. She made those stairs bow. Those stairs had to take a bow because she did not seem intimidated by those stairs. And not only that, you can see, go back and watch her performance. Go back and watch her performance. Honey was changing her face on those stairs because a lot of other people, they didn't know what to do while coming down those stairs. It was almost awkward to watch them. They would not change their face. They would not change their body position. They would not change their movement. Honey did all of it. All of the above, everything. Honey's face transitions on the stairs, the way that she was holding out her little goddess sleeves, everything about her performance was great. Honey, I truly appreciate you weren't waving those sleeves around, because stop playing in the sleeves. Stop. Like, it looks like a lot of the girls look like they're trying to fly away. It looks like you're trying to migrate, and I don't understand where you're trying to go. Just let them flow. You don't even need to touch that. We'll get into the sleeves more because I want to talk about Honey, but Honey was amazing. Honey was amazing. She was so graceful and gentle. Her performance on the platform, when she gave that final face and kind of tilted her head, it was so endearing. Like, if the competition ended right now, crowns are going to Honey and Justine for sure. For sure, I would give crowns to Honey and Justine. Now, have we seen them in evening gown? No. I do not know how these women speak. So a lot of things can happen before anybody gets a crown.
You know what, guys? I just love her smile and energy here, as I feel Honey's performance here is a performance I will remember during this event. To be honest, there are times when I thought she was tentative with her twirls, but still, everything was still on point. She did not overuse her accessories and stood right in her markings. But what made Honey stand out here is that she did not need to fix her hair, like flipping it, which was a common practice for girls who have long hair. All throughout, I thought she was really refreshing. So yeah, Honey really stood out for me in this round.
I think Karen could use a bit more confidence and be a bit more careful when it comes to the arms. We have a lot of arm issues in this competition. Like, a lot of women do not know what they're doing with their arms, and they're kind of just flinging themselves around, and you can't do that in a pageant. Everything matters. But her overall performance is very good, which is why she's up the list. There's just a few elements she could do a bit better. If she could just work on the smoothness and the poise that come in between her poses, those transitions, that would greatly lift up the level of performance that she's giving.
number 15. Look at her eyes. Okay, what is in the water in Iloilo, okay? Because they are just killing it this year. I love, love, love her eyes. I feel like they're so mesmerizing on camera.
You know what, guys? I am just in love with Karen Lori's performance here, as I just love how she combined her sweet personality and fierceness here. I just love the impact of her turns here. She did not overdo it. Tamang timpla lang. Napansin niyo yun. And all throughout her presentation, she gave a very solid and clean performance. In fact, her most defining moment came when she posed at the end of her presentation while throwing down the garment or the detachable arm sleeves against the wind. I thought that created so much impact on me. So yeah, I remember Karen in this event. So well done, Karen.
Justine, first of all, Justine. It's Justine. It was killing me that the announcer was calling her Justin the whole time. I'm like, no, it's Justine. Can I really say anything? No, from the queen of mispronunciations. I'm not really gonna get on them for that, but it was just irking my nerves. I was like, but that's an easy one. It's Justine. Okay, anyways, Justine was that woman that had a swimsuit that was different from everyone else's, but I really liked it. Like, I really liked her style of swimsuit, but beyond that, amazing performance. So yeah, she's giving it. Justine's giving it. I mean, every element of her performance seemed very prepared. Like, she knew what she was doing. She knew her timing. She was comfortable, she was confident, and she knew her angles, she knew her poses. Her walk was smooth. She took her time. Like, that's a performance. Justine gave a performance, and she gave a damn good performance. When you watch her during her performance, you can see the different faces that she shows. She's not just giving one smile or even the same smile. She gives very different expressions, which makes her very captivating to watch. I want to see what she's gonna do next. I want to see what she's going to bring. And it instills confidence in me as a fan that when I watch somebody like this, I know that not only are they a professional, but they're not going to throw something wild or unexpected at me. Like, she's not suddenly going to do a really off-center turn.
I really have to give props to this girl. She really nailed this round like nothing happened to her earlier. In case you did not know, Justine had a surgery weeks before this taping day, but she was still able to execute a performance suitable for the crown that she is aiming, which is MGI. I think she is one of those girls who is very clear about the crown that she is targeting. Since it is MGI, her walk catered to that aesthetic of the pageant system. Very sexy and controlled. She also knows her twirls too. And the different swimsuit design that she wore was a blessing in disguise, that it really made her look longer. For me, she just did her performance flawlessly. She was just amazing here.
Maureen Montaigne. I am aware that she competed in the United States, and some of you on Instagram through my DMs were questioning me if I was keeping an eye on the Binibining Pilipinas contestants before competition. I was. And Maureen was one of those girls that I was keeping my eye on. And I said that to some of you in the DMs. I'm like, she's one to watch. But my one thing with her is I'm watching her performances in different years, and she's still struggling with technical ability, even in 2019. And I told some of you that this is one element that if she was going to struggle, she's going to struggle with technical ability, which she did. And that's what kept her from being higher on the list. But her number one, she's beautiful. She is gorgeous, and I feel like a lot of people are going to get hypnotized by her beauty. It's not gonna fly with me, okay? I love a pretty girl. I do. I love a pretty girl. But this is competition, and you get by with skills over here. Skills only. Her facial changes, her facial expressions, her beauty, her styling, magnificent. It's the technique. It's the in-between periods of when she's transitioning from poses that seem a bit wild. And there are women throughout this competition who just have wild arms. They're just like, especially in the stairs element. Oh my gosh, those stairs were killing the girls. They were slaying them. When they're coming down those stairs, they're just waving their arms. They're just throwing their arms. There's no grace, no poise. It's not smooth. And especially when it comes to this darn fabric, because see, the curveballs are killing them, where they're just throwing the fabric and waving the arms. And it's like the periods between their poses, they're not sure what to do. And it's not pretty. It's not poised. It's not graceful. Maureen is one woman that is going to struggle with the grace elements of the competition, because once she gets into a pose, she knows what she's doing. But the general technique and cleanliness of the performance is not as present as women that are higher up the list. Now, I know she speaks English well, and I know a lot of you love a woman that can speak English, but once again, from an English speaker, it's not all about that. It's not all about English. She does speak well, and she's very charismatic. I love to see her speak on camera, but in the Philippines, the performance has to be better if you're going to go up against some of these other top dogs.
The stairs were a little bit rough on this one, but I want to mention that for this reason. The rest of her performance was phenomenal to me. The facial expressions, her beauty, the posing, the walk itself, like I loved the rest of it. And this is one of those cases where it's like, yeah, it wasn't absolutely perfect or absolutely flawless, but it doesn't matter because overall I still loved it and I still think of it as one of my top performances. And that's something that I want all contestants to understand, is that, yeah, of course, we we all want to have a perfect performance, but sometimes it isn't, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that judges still won't love you.
As expected, Maureen came slaying this event again with her experience as a pageant contestant. Lumabas talaga yung pagka-pageant veteran niya in this round as she displayed that quiet confidence as she as she walked down the ramp. You can see that she was very fierce and fun with those smooth transitions. Styling-wise, she also aced it as her wavy curls made her a versatile performer here, such that if she was competing in MGI, she could have been great. If she was competing for Miss International, she could have been great as well. That's how pro Maureen was in this round. So I really think she really slayed the hell out of it. So good job, Maureen.
Meiji is one of those women that does not struggle with transitions, posings, walking, confidence, anything. Her performance is clean and I love it. She's one of those women you can really sit back and just enjoy her performance. She's one of those women you just sit back and clap for. Like, from this contestant on upwards, these women really don't have anything wrong with them. There's no flaws. At this point, we're just looking for the people that have the extra sauce. The bits of performance that make them stand out from the rest, because there's nothing wrong with Meiji. She's gorgeous, she's confident, she's given the sex appeal. Like, I could see this contestant doing very well. There's a lot of really good girls in this competition, but she is fighting for a crown. She's a contender.
Number 7, oh my gosh. My favorite moment of this performance was this over-the-shoulder look. And this is something that I think that any contestant can learn from. If there's something that you do really well, work it into your routine just like she did.
You know, when Meiji came out here in her presentation, I thought, wow, wow, wow. You know, talagang wow. The way she walked and styled herself here is very commendable. She really looked expensive here. Her high pony made me focus on her beautiful face here. She really screamed so alta and powerful in her overall packaging. Yeah, so overall, she really gave a very strong and clean performance. And the impact of her turns as well was very lively and very beautiful. And with those poses and confidence, I could honestly say that Meiji gave the best performance of the event. And with this, I hope that this really encourages Meiji that she really has what it takes to win a crown on July 11.